Welcome to your 2021 Lexus LC 500. I kind of like this car a little bit, a lot of it. It's the first LC I've had, and it's so many perks to it. So let's start off with the engine, then we'll go driving, then we'll go outside, then we'll go inside. So you can get a hybrid if that's what you're into and you want your supercar to have hybrid technology, all the more power to you. But I would take mine as I have it here, which is a 5-liter V8, naturally aspirated, 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, all through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's not the fastest in its class, and to be honest, I don't care if it's the fastest. The ride quality here and the sounds out of the exhaust and the engine and just the way it feels, the way it drives, there's really nothing quite like it. At least I find so, and I've had my share of remarkable vehicles. So yeah, Sport Plus will really liven things up and put the exclamation mark on everything. Even Sport does a great job, but the driving behaviors that the LC 500 exhibits in normal mode are remarkable on its own. So I'll just do a quick stop and let's just, take a look right there. Nothing's moving except for that car, but no launch control, just you can't beat that sound in a world where we're doing 2-liter turbo 4s and yes, V6s. There really is no replacement for displacement for those sweet low baritone sounds that the LC 500 gives out. Yes, some other vehicles have some mids and some highs as far as their snap, crackles, and pops go. I associate this as like the Barry White of cars. It just has that low grumble and it just sounds so good. And yeah, it's wonderful. So I'm going to stop the car, I'll pop it into Sport Plus, and then the controllers up here. So normal, Sport, and Sport Plus. The RPM gauge and your whole center gauge changes, and let's take a look and a listen. I really like this car. It's so low and nearly a perfect 50-50 split for weight. So it's 52 in the front and 48% in the rear. So, another couple percent and you get that perfectly even forward and rear weight distribution. But what it does, the straight lines, the curves, the twists, the turns, doing it on city streets, running it on the back roads, getting onto highways, it's so easy to drive. It's such a pleasure to drive. There's hardly any oversteer, there's hardly any understeer. Let's take a listen to the engine again. Sorry, I had to do that. And no, it's not going to be your everyday, I guess it could be your everyday car, but if I had this, I would not drive this in winter at all. I would baby it so much. I'd keep it pristine and spotless. Onto the outside we go, so you'll know it's an LC 500 from any angle you look at it from, whether it's the front with such a beautifully chiseled look from the LED triple beam headlights to the grille, to the nice sleek design all around the sides, to the hidden door handles that pop out. It looks like a 45-degree angle, and it says Lexus on the top of the handle, and it's not the first time it's been done, I'll definitely say that, but it's a rarity that it is done, and it just adds that kind of extra element of flair to it. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, nice big long doors going all the way down. There's no B-pillar, there's no it's a frameless window, so it's a true coupe. Some coupes still have the frame around the window as a two-door, but this looks simply stunning. And then you go around to the rear and just follows a clean, beautiful design line. Get the nice symmetrical look all around. And it took me a couple of minutes, maybe more than a couple of minutes, and I'd like to admit, to find the trunk release, because to me that's how well Lexus's engineers had hidden it. You know, I put my hand underneath the lights for the license plate and I was kind of fishing around there, but it's just to the right of where the lid opens, like it's for the center logo in the rear, and it's so well hidden, and the exterior looks are just beautiful. I like how they've incorporated so many of the not quite sharp but sharper angles. And if you look at the Lexus logo, it definitely has that sharp turn in it where the top of the L meets the bottom of the L. And it's especially prevalent in a lot of the designs, the design lines up front in the headlight assembly and just all the way through. And with the side mirrors being pushed out a little bit and brought forward a bit, it just has that nice, beautiful modern look to it. For me, the biggest takeaway from the exterior are the massive 21-inch staggered wheels. Yeah, they're pushed out and they just look so gorgeous and elegant, and it's a nice minimalistic design. Lexus didn't put, you know, like a 20, 24, whatever multi-spoke rim on it. Yes, it looks kind of futuristic, but it's still clean enough that it suits the vehicle absolutely perfectly. The exterior color is nori green pearl. I'd take it in black. That's my thing with sports cars and exotic cars. I love black. I'm gonna start from the left, which is my door, and I'll sweep around to the middle, and then I'll go to the right. The door handles. The door handles. They're kind of floating because you don't have like a handle. You've got a handle, but there's no indent in it. It's just like a hanging claw, which is what it looks like. And it's just such a cool design. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Moving around to steering wheel, again, more toasted caramel. It feels good. It feels sturdy. There's some black on the outsides where your hard touch buttons are going to have to be there, which is fine. The top right here above the steering wheel, sorry, it's not in camera, but I'll do a cutaway to it. It's also Alcantara, and it has the toasted caramel stitching. It's so attention oriented here. I absolutely love it. It's going to get perks in all caps and an exclamation mark. Moving on to the dashboard, it has that cool feature. Not new for Lexus, but still, you know, I like it. I think it's a great use of technology and engineering where you push one button and the center dial moves over a little bit to your right, and then in the absence of that, you get a little more information on your left side. You have snow mode and regular mode for what's on the left side of your steering wheel, and then on the right side, Sport, Sport Plus, Normal / Custom, and then Comfort / Eco. I have your infotainment system here. It's not a touch screen. It's a bit of an irk. You have to go through the touchpad. I'm not a big fan of the touchpad. I know it's a Lexus thing, and it'll take, if I'm buying this car, or any Lexus for that matter, the learning curve will be a little steep because it's all sensitivity. And yes, you can change the sensitivity, but overall, I hope that future Lexus models go to a dial or making it touchscreen for, let's say, for the LC 500. You get a nice narrow HVAC system, narrow in regards to kind of the center stack and how it flows down here. There's a CD player in here. That's a perk. I'm gonna call it that. At age 43, yes, I still own CDs, and I would absolutely throw a CD in there. You get your power volume buttons and a cool seek / track, and your tune, and a couple of other buttons here in the trackpad section. Gear shift, nice, small, thin. You have your auto hold just beneath it, and the manual option for the spoiler to come up at the very end of that little pattern. Again, I'll do a cutaway to that so you can take a look at it. Seats, 12 out of 10. They're comfortable. They fit me perfectly. Headrests in the perfect spot. Like, it is just so good. I would easily rack up a couple thousand kilometers on a road trip with this. Yes, it's a luxury sports car / supercar, but Lexus has gone all out in making the seats remarkably comfortable. Moving on to the right of the infotainment system, you have your analog clock, signature move for Lexus, and just to the right of that, you have a little bit of black. It's a nice separation between the top of the dashboard and the glove box. And everything looks and feels absolutely gorgeous and wonderful in here. It's gonna wrap it up for the 2021 Lexus LC 500. If you've got any questions on the vehicle, let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate the support quite a bit. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to tell somebody about the channel if you think they might like what I do. Until next time, be well, be healthy, be safe, and I will see you in the next video.